Hello and welcome here to TalkFCB, back for another podcast, and today we're going to be talking about Juan Cuadrado. Now, it's a very interesting video, this one. This is going to be me talking about us signing Cuadrado as a winger. I'm not going to be talking about him signing as a right back. I don't believe that's the way to go. A right wing back is a different story altogether. I think if Lucho wants to play him as a right wing back, that could work. He's certainly not Dani Alves, though. He is a much more attacking player than that. I don't believe if you're going to play him at right back solidly, that wouldn't work. So this is all about me talking about him as a winger. So there's a number of reasons why Barcelona should sign Juan Cuadrado, but for me now, looking at the market, with Deulofeu being loaned out yesterday, it's gone to the point now where I feel we need to sign Juan Cuadrado. This is a necessity for us now. I think we've got to go out there, we have to sign him, but I don't want us to overpay for him. I said this on Twitter yesterday, a few people disagree with me. Personally, I don't think we should be paying anywhere close to 50 million euros, anywhere close to 45. I wouldn't pay anything over 35 million euros for this man. He's an incredible talent, he's a brilliant player, I really like him, but I don't think we should go to Fiorentina and overpay. But I don't think we will. I think that's a worry. I think Barcelona have got this one under control. I'm not sure how close it is. A number of sources reporting that the deal is close to being done, but until, some other more reliable sources in Spain are reporting it, we're not going to get too excited. So, a number of reasons why we need to sign him. Number one, we are short on wingers. We have replaced Sanchez since he left. He left to go to Arsenal. We have not replaced him. Luis Suarez is not a replacement for Sanchez. He was a striker. We brought him in as a number 9, not as a winger. So straight away, we're one winger short. We loaned out Christian Teo to Porto. We're another winger short. And then yesterday, Luis Enrique decided to loan out Deulofeu to Sevilla, which is a decision that I actually agree with. But it does leave us 3 wingers short. We have to bring in a winger before the end of this window. It is absolutely essential. We cannot leave ourselves, shortchanged. We've got a number of players leaving this summer, and we have not brought in a winger yet, and we need strength in depth. We need players on the bench. We need players in our squad that if there's injuries, if there's suspensions, we need to be able to go into our squad and perform at a high level throughout the season. Despite what happens to different players, we need to be able to bring in players that can come in and make an impact. Juan Cuadrado is an outstanding player. That is the first thing I want to say. We've seen him at the World Cup for Colombia, how really brilliant he was. All the spotlight for Colombia was on James Rodriguez. That really shouldn't have happened. Cuadrado was influential. Down the right-hand side, he was an absolute menace. He tore defences apart with his pace, with his close control, with his skill on the ball. He's a really good winger. And it's brilliant that I can say he is an out-and-out winger. He keeps his width on the pitch, and as I've said before, the Camp Nou is a massive pitch. And if you've got a guy like Cuadrado who keeps his width, drags the defence wider, it will create a lot more space for the likes of Luis Suarez, Neymar, Messi. So Cuadrado is a really good out-and-out winger, which is what we need. He's got outstanding pace. I don't know many players who his acceleration is as quick as this guy. He's got absolute pace to burn. If he was in the Olympics, I'd quite fancy him at a 100-metre sprint. Seriously, he's that quick. His close control, as I mentioned, on the ball, it suits Barca's style, his decent passing on the ball. I think he's a really good player. He's 26 years old, which is a good age. Only just turned 26 in May, so he's got a load of years left in his career, and as a winger, you can go to your 31. But Cuadrado is a player at the moment who's entering the prime of his career, 27, 28. Is brilliant in one-on-one situations. If you're going to stick him against a one-on-one, and he'll really torment the defence, which will mean the defenders will have to double up on him. And what does that mean? That means Messi, Suarez, Neymar will get more space. It's all about getting players in who are going to allow our other players, our really influential players, to get more space and more time on the ball. If we can get Cuadrado in, it'll give us more strength and depth. It'll give us a really unique player. And that's what Cuadrado is. I said it yesterday. I don't know any other player in the world who's like this guy. He gives us something different. He gives the defence a new problem to think about. Defences are going to see his name on the team sheet and think, we're not quite sure how to approach this guy. He's different to other players. We can't really stand him up because he'll take us on. We can't really drop off him because then he'll hurt with our pace. We're going to drag him wide and then we leave space for other players. And it just gives other defences problems. It gives them something to think about. And that's what we need to to do, and I think signing Cuadrado would be a real statement as well. We signed a number of players this summer, we brought in a number of big names, we spent a lot of money, we also sold players. We're not going over financial fair play because we've sold players, we've got enough money in the kitty. If we go out and sign Cuadrado, we're showing Real Madrid, we're showing Atletico Madrid, we've got strength in our squad. Doesn't matter who gets injured, doesn't matter what happens throughout the course of the season, we've got enough players to make sure we get the job done. It sends out a message to them, if we can bring him in. Man United are interested as well in Juan Cuadrado, and it's not surprising he's attracting some of the biggest interest in the world. Be interesting to see who he chooses. I think both offers are on the table for him. Apparently he's close to joining Barcelona, but as I say, nothing at all is confirmed yet, and it's all just speculation, which is just going over the top of my head at the moment. But Cuadrado's a talent, that's for sure. I don't think we should overpay, as I say, but he's certainly a player that I feel it's come to the stage now we need to sign him. We need to see him at Barca. Of course, as well, if Luis Enrique chooses to play a 3-5-2 formation, whereby he's got wing-backs, if he chooses to play maybe a different formation, like 4-3-3, he's got, of course, the natural wingers. So I think Cuadrado as well is versatile in the fact that he can fit into a number of different positions on the pitch. As I say, he's not a right back, he's not an out-and-out right back, but he could well do a job at wing back. So I think he's a good, good player to bring in who's versatile, can play in a few different positions, he can play in a different few roles, and I think he'd be a really, really handy player for Luis Enrique. I'm not sure he'd come in and be an out-and-out starter every week in, week out, but he'd certainly be a brilliant player that, for instance, in the Champions League game, if we really needed a goal, he's the guy you'd throw on with 25 minutes to go, because he would absolutely annihilate the back four with, a tiring back four who's been backs against the wall. And when teams are parking the bus, this is the guy you want. This is the guy you want running at them, making them, split, making them, causing the space to come. And that's what you want. When somebody parks the bus, you want this guy in behind, and he will do that. He's a hard worker. He's got a lot of energy, a lot of desire, and I like that thing about Cuadrado. I think he's a really, really good signing. And if we can get him in, it'll be a brilliant signing for us. So hopefully negotiations go well. Hopefully Anthony Zubizarreta pulls his finger out and goes and gets us Cuadrado. Not for too much, but let's make sure we get him in, because I think it's got to the stage now we need to sign him. We need a winger, and he fits the bill perfectly. So thanks for watching, guys. If you did find this video interesting, if you did enjoy it, please give it a like. Also in the description, please don't forget to follow my new Twitter account, a brilliant account dedicated to TalkFCB. Make sure you follow that. And of course, as always, leave your comments about Cuadrado in the comments box below. What are your thoughts on him? What do you think he'll bring to the club if we manage to sign him? So thanks for watching as always, guys. Please like, comment and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next podcast.